What's going on, bud? My name's AJ. I am the friendly hermit. This is part 2. We're continuing from last, week. I don't know. The last time we posted. And we're still in a mood, We're in our vengeance phase in life. Yeah, I've been, a little, what do you say? I don't know if I've said it before on the channel, but I'm jaded. Jaded, angry, tired. Really, it's almost like a feeling of being bullied. Does that make sense? Maybe it'll make more sense as I kind of go into more detail, but just the state of Western, and I assume, overseas as well, but I'm talking about my experience as a Canadian right now. And I've told you before, I doom scroll far too much, and I don't want to, and I don't care to. I don't enjoy it. I'm not proud of it. It's just a part of, I saw a funny the Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast. They had posted something the other day where they were talking about how, like, one of the jokes that they had made in one of the episodes, is it Dean? I can't remember one of the main guys, I can't remember their names. Anyway, the main guy who's a little bit of a sociopath. He's a lot of a sociopath and a lot of a psychopath. There's an episode as a joke many moons ago, one of the earlier seasons, that he's addicted to his phone and he's just on his phone all the time. And then in the podcast, they're talking about, we did that as a joke. We didn't think that was going to be a real thing, right? in real society. But that's how I feel today. Like, I have an addiction to my phone. This whole thing is not lost upon me, filming and putting myself on the internet. The irony is not lost. But we're continuing kind of from where we left off before, because I really did want to touch on a few things. I kind of mentioned the K-shaped economy that is kind of coming out. If we chart it, the rich get rich, the poor get poor, the richer are richer, the poorer are poorer. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? The K shape is, yeah, technically the economy is really good for a small number of people, but it's really bad for another large number of people. And that split is at the expense of the middle class, right? So the middle class is disappearing. We were talking a little bit about it. We didn't put it into those words specifically in the last episode, but this is the same day. I'm still talking about that. This is, which makes sense. It's on my mind, and it's the same day. I'm recording a second episode. But more specifically, I wanted to talk about, and I'm not going to say his name, because, so I'm going to talk about a little bit of my history, a little bit of my past and present. But I'm not going to say this guy's name because, again, I'm doom scrolling. And this guy, I'm going to be as, I'm going to try and keep my head on. Not saying I want to take the high ground, because I don't believe in doing that anymore. Again, I'm jaded. Like, the world is not meant for the soft any longer. It's not meant for ethics or morals any longer. I'm just going to say EM. You can do with that acronym what you will. He is a popular, I see him on TikTok, but I don't watch his TikToks. I see other people kind of responding to his TikToks, and they are some of the most egregious, heinous, evil. And I mean that literally, like the word evil. When I think of the word evil, there are two groups of people that come to mind historically, in recent history. The one being, am I allowed to say Nazi? Like evil ideology. I don't care. I feel like that's the most reasonable thing I'm going to say today. Nazi ideology is evil ideology. It's not good. I don't think that's particularly like, whoa, look at this hot take, So yeah, so there's number one. Number two is this new conservative ideology that is very much grounded in this pseudo-intellectual, I did my research for Googling for 20 minutes, I did my research online. You just watched a couple of podcasts, like this is an evil group. And I don't think they're evil necessarily by will. Not necessarily. Because I see, again, we're going to go back to that split, that K split in the economy. But I don't see left versus right. I don't see these ideologies as evil. I see them as, in a perfect world, we would be conflicting, but somehow we would find common ground, and the goal then as a society, because whether or not we want to, we have to exist together, right? So set aside the irrelevance of the necessity of having a neighbor. This ideology comes out of a specifically loud and proud, I want to say it's a direct result of social media propping up engagement generally. And so we have, they talk about the lonely male epidemic. That's a separate thing, but it's in the same vein in that the loudest voices, even if it's a small margin of individuals, a small amount, even if it's a small community or what have you, we prop up as a society, because of social media, we prop up this hateful rhetoric, this evil rhetoric, and not just prop it up, we fund it. It is rewarded. Evil is rewarded particularly in North American culture. Canada is a little better than the US. And this gentleman I'm referring to in particular is, to my understanding, perhaps unsurprisingly, he's Southern-ish. I don't know. He's got to be. I don't know. But if I had to guess. Side note, today has been beautiful, and I've seen many butterflies. So I'm using these beautiful butterflies. There's one right here. I'm trying to stay positive, and I'm being foolishly spiritual, because I'm not a spiritual person per se. But I'm trying to use these beautiful butterflies as a metaphor, as a omen, a sign, hopefully, of good things to come. But EM, getting to the point. EM, and I don't know where or how or why he has a following, but apparently he does. He must, otherwise, how is he? He's always getting. I'm seeing him a lot. People are talking about him all the time in my feed. And EM, I saw today, and I don't know if this was last week or what have you. And again, by the time you're watching this, remember last episode, I filmed this probably a month ago by the time you're watching this. So EM, do with that acronym what you will. EM looked into the camera. He had his inbred TikTok account. He's doing his content, right? His troglodyte, manosphere, holier than thou art, anti-Christian, but I am a Christian, probably. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Looked into the camera, and he's talking to me. I want you all to know that. Not literally, but literally. I know that's a contradiction. Hear me out. He said, and again, trying to keep a level head. He's talking about homeless people and people that don't have jobs. And he said, looking directly into that camera, I want you to starve. Paraphrasing, I want you to be hungry. I want you to starve. He has a platform. He's making money on that content. He's talking about the homeless and people that don't have jobs. So like I said, he's not literally talking to me, but he is. He's literally talking to me. He called me out by I was homeless last year, and I'm a student, and it's a program whereby it's a full-time practicum. Think of it like an internship. I'm an unpaid worker. I'm in teachers college, if that helps make sense of that. So I have to do so many hours in the school system for free. I'm working, and this is full-time hours, Monday to Friday, and then I go home and I have to prepare lessons for the next day. So it's more than 40 hours a week, and I don't get paid for that. And you might argue, well, someday I'll get a job. I don't know. I don't know if I ever will. I'm not confident about that. We can have a conversation about that another day. That's not the point of this video. Things are changing in Ontario. Again, you're seeing this on a day that's not the day I'm filming. Quick little history lesson for Southern Ontario, for Ontario generally speaking. The course has changed. They're turning it from a 2-year course into a 1-year course. Things are changing. Ontario says they need teachers, but it's a whole thing. Side note. That's a side note. My point is, I was homeless this time last year. I don't have any income after May, which means I will not have rent for, June? April, May, June. Yeah, June. I do not have rent for June, and I do not have I have no way to pay my bills. I've just been using student loans to try and survive, right? So I don't work, technically. So rather, I don't get paid for my work, which is again another, something we could discuss another time. I don't get paid for the work that I do, and I don't. This time last year, I was homeless. So he looks into the camera, and we give him I assume thousands of dollars. Don't quote me. I don't know EM. I don't know his, but he looks well off. He talks like he's well off, and I guarantee if you were to, look him up, he's probably well off. EM is rewarded. We as a society reward hate. And maybe I'll lose some of you here, but hear me out. I'm willing to bet. This is my hot take, but I don't think it's that crazy. I'm willing to bet any ism, any phobia, sexism, racism, transphobia, homophobia, Islamophobia, you name it, even to some degree, anti-Semitism, all of these things, if they were profitable, they would be the dominant ideology. And even though on the surface as a society, we like to, again, button up collars and the educated sphere and the universities and this and that. We are above these things. We are, we're trying to fight these things. These are bad things, right? Evil ideologies or bad, hateful ideologies. People stand up for women's rights, for whatever, fill in the blank, right? Trans rights, LGBTQ2IA plus. I'm drawing a blank on the exact acronym. Anyway, my point is, if it were profitable, the dominant ideology would be hate, and it would be fine. It would be socially acceptable. Hot take, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like if there were enough hateful people, if there were enough EMs pushing that type of garbage, that type of inbred, troglodytic, unthinking, uneducated, you name it, whatever. It would be the dominant ideology. It would be like we would be paying for those voices. And frankly, I want you to take a moment and just really think, are we not already doing that? If EM has a platform to tell me that he wants me to starve, and I'm paraphrasing now, I can't recall, but I swear he said he wants me to starve, he wants me to be hungry, he wants me to die. All homeless people, all people that aren't working. He wants us to die. Again, paraphrasing. Maybe I'm making that part up. I do 100% can confirm he wants me to starve. He wants me to go hungry. Why are we supporting those people? If you're somebody that follows that type of content, you like and subscribe to that content, particularly on the right, like people that are religious that say they follow Jesus, you know what Jesus talked about, right? All the time, like the whole thing that Jesus is, love thy neighbor, the rich will struggle to get into heaven. He hung out with lepers and prostitutes and like the lowliest people in society because he wanted to help lift the lowly, right? I mean, of course, that's assuming you even believe in it. I do not. But the story is like you're the conservative that follows EM. You are the one that believes in the story of Jesus. I don't have to believe in it. I follow what Jesus does just every day as just like an ethical, moral. I just walk around and think, oh, I don't hate you because you're different or poor. Why would I hate somebody? And why should I get paid for that? This is the problem with our society right now, is that the propaganda machine, the rage bait, the algorithm, it feeds on negativity. And that's fed directly to you. And it is, frankly, it's poisoning. Yeah, that's all. It's poisoning. It's infecting, infectious. It's infecting people's minds. This anti-intellectualism is now considered by a large portion of our society, a swath of people, just by right of saying, not even that you disagree. It's that realistically, if we boil it down to its like finest constituent parts, you fundamentally don't understand, you know. Like when I say inbred, I'm not saying that to be mean. Following the line of descent, there are some cousin kissers out there, man. Holy hell. You know, it's the what is it, Charles the Third or whoever? I'm just throwing a name out there. Don't look up that guy, but it's probably the wrong guy. But you know, that jaw, that inbred, and I'm not saying it to be like I don't want to insult the physicality of this type of person. It's the cognitive ability of this person has been stunted, right? It's a biological, you know, what do you say? I mean, it's a shame. But the conservative mind is so, especially nowadays, we talk, again, this male loneliness epidemic, this manosphere. They're finding community in, it doesn't matter if it's correct or if it's right or if it's ethical or anything. I fundamentally, and they don't say this because they're not cognitively capable of understanding that they're not cognitively capable, but there's a lack of community. And humans are social creatures, evolved from monkeys, right? By the way, there's a very fantastic, very fun, not evil, that's the wrong word. The chimpanzees, this is a thing that just came out in the news. Side note, the chimpanzees have started a civil war in like somewhere in, I feel like it's in Africa somewhere, but side note, really fascinating. First like civil war that isn't humans. The monkeys are doing it. Anyway, this is a side note. Look that up. That's really interesting. Fascinating. But the community, the lack of community, the lack of supports. And this is a direct result, again, hot take, a direct result of capitalism at large. Because the most outrageous and the evilest, the most outrageous statements are rewarded, right? And then 1 million people are so furious, they're all engaging, and so we reward, we engage, we comment, we share, we And those people, those ideas, those, you know, misnomers, I don't even know what to call them. They get lifted up, and I'm just supposed to be like, yeah, I'm homeless, I deserve to starve. Yeah, I don't have a job, therefore I deserve to die. I genuinely don't understand how someone that claims to follow Jesus can hear EM talk and believe they're on the right side of their own fairy tale, myth, religion, call it whatever you want. How do you see what Jesus did and then follow EM? I don't know. I got about 3 minutes. I'm going to move the camera into the sun and we're going to finally review a beer. This is a weird channel. Dinker and drinker. Thumbnail for the video. It's very bright and hard to do. There you go, Jacob Jones. Creemore. Creemore. Fire brewed with spring water, fresh from the village of Creemore. I chose this premium lager, 5%. This is a tall can, 473 milliliters. Contains barley and may contain wheat. Store cool, enjoy fresh, no preservatives, no pasteurization. Handcrafted, artisan ale. Is that one word? Artisan ale. It should be artisan ale, not artisan ale, as in one word, but it is one word on the can, apparently. Small batch, yada, yada, yada. The reason I'm picking this beer to review today is because we're talking about that K in the economy when we graph it. We're talking about the elimination of the middle class, right? This beer, for me, I have history with this beer. I've told you already that I'm homeless and that EM wants me to starve and die. But this beer first kind of arrived in my life when I was a young lad, you know, early 20s, something like this. I grew up in subsidized housing, very poor, on my one side of my family. Not going to be so specific, I'm just telling you the story. The other side of my family, doctors, I don't want to say lawyers, but well off, teachers, very well off. So one side of my family, and my parents divorced before I was self-aware. So I don't remember that happening. I just grew up in subsidized housing with a single parent who did everything in their power to improve my life. But I still had this strange kind of, and it always felt awkward. It always felt forced, and it felt uncomfortable to go to this other side of my family where there was so much money and I could barely, like, I can't afford clothes. The foods I eat, the things I enjoy, like, so different, right? My cousin, I have not seen my cousin in very many years, but he enjoyed this. He on my wealthy side of my family, he enjoyed this particular beer. And over the years, that side of the family that was already in a very good place economically, financially, they are in a much better place even today. They continue to grow their wealth. And I continue, and the other half of my family continues the down trajectory. So this beer to me is very much representative of that K economy, middle class, this elimination of the middle class. That's what this represents for me. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like that's a fun way to review beer, of all things, is to have some sort of metaphor or poem or purpose behind it, not just this, this is what I found on the shelf. There was some thought put into this one today, and I have tried this beer before, but it's been so long that this, for all sakes and purposes, as per usual, I don't remember what it tastes like. I remember it being thick. If we read the back here, amber lager, medium body, so it's thicker than I want it to be, and I know that. It's called Creemore. It is very creamy in my memory. Balanced hop, not hops, just one hop. Says welcome for some reason. I don't know why, but there you go, can. If you want to read the can. If you can. There you go. Take something simple and create something extraordinary. This is the heart of Creemore and the story of our brilliant copper lager. Copper lager, all right. We make this beer for all who share our spirit. Fresh from the village of Creemore. I don't know where that is. Creemore Springs Brewery, Mill Street, Creemore, Ontario. All right. I know it's relatively local to my area. I don't know where, but, there you go. This is a beer that it exists in my local area. Store cool, enjoy fresh. So, okay, let's for the first time, quote unquote, we're gonna give this a shot, and I'm gonna let you know if you should give Creemore lager, premium lager, a try or not. Without further ado, here we go. Sound of heaven. Felt good to open the can. It's a nice can, nice quality packaging on this. It's got that kind of smooth feel, not so metallic. There's a grain to it almost, Not getting a lot of scent out of this guy. Give it a little pump. There's some hops in the air. It smells light, but yeah, it's certainly hopsy, and as you can very clearly see, the first thing that comes out is foam. It is a creamy beer. A beer very much representative of my family history. The K economy. Some of us, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, the creamy get creamier. So, without further ado, I'm said it again. Take a little sip. Let's go. How is it? And that's a fly. I don't know if that was a bad omen, but yeah, I mean, it's velvety. Yeah. Hops is forward. Hops, amber, medium body, they described it accurately here. But it is balanced. It's not too egregiously hopsy. Somebody that really likes a strong IPA, this is it's in the middle. It's fine, but it is thick. I don't know if I could drink this all day. But it's better than a lot. It's a lager, according to this. It's a premium lager. It's not a bad beer. Not at all. Flavor wise, it's on the it's on the lighter side, I would say. If I had to put some taste to it. Yeah, like it's a good flavor. Not too bitter, but it's more bitter. There's no sweetness here. It's a and I prefer that. I don't like sweet in my beer. So this to me is a good like flavor profile. But where I draw the line is it's called Creemore, and I know that's named after the village according to this. It is creamy, and that texture to me means I will have one and I will enjoy it, and I will very much I will take in the experience. But I'm not buying 6 of these and sipping on them all afternoon. That would be too heavy. It wouldn't be like, it says refreshing. I think it says refreshing. Maybe I'm just making that up. Because if they said refreshing, it's not refreshing, but it's not like, if you're thirsty, you're not quenching your thirst with this. This would go good with like a nice meal, right? Like I would say, maybe, I know this sounds weird, but maybe if you had some type of barbecued asparagus, something that would complement the flavor. You would have it like at a barbecue, maybe with a nice steak and asparagus, maybe like, I wouldn't do this with like a burger, because I feel like it's too thick. I wouldn't do, like, I don't want the bun, I don't want the condiments or nothing like that, but like a nice meat, and it would be a red meat. This would go well with beef. I can almost in my mind picture this with a steak. It would be divine. It would be like, this is, you go to a fancy restaurant, you get a nice, medium rare, or in my case, I like it a little bloodier than that. And this would pair so well with a steak. I can almost guarantee that. And in that way, again, if we're talking about that K divide, baby, this is a premium lager through and through. My cousin loved it. And he and his family, they had the money to enjoy it with their steaks. This is why I probably don't enjoy this in the same way. It's not in my, I deserve to go hungry, right? I deserve to be hungry. I deserve to die. Therefore, EM would probably argue that I don't even deserve to drink this, because this is for his people. It's not very common for my people. Which is sad, because it's a part of my family, like literally my direct, maybe not immediate. It's not my brother. My brother would not be drinking this. That poor guy. Thank God. I don't think he drinks at all. I shouldn't even be, realistically. But yeah, this would pair very well with a nice salted, very very raw in a flavor sense. We don't need any fancy rubs or no pretension. Steak, salted, maybe dry, cooked rare or bloody in my mind, in my opinion. Just salt, maybe some pepper. This would pair so well with a salty steak. Yeah. But that's it. That's all I'm going to say for now. We'll give Creemore. I mean, it depends on your palate, because some people are going to drink this and think this is, everything they've ever wanted. For me, it's too thick. It is what it says it is, which is so funny because the village is named Creemore, to my understanding. Creemore Springs Brewery Limited in Mill Street. Yes, it's Creemore, Ontario. But I guess it's Creemore. It's not Creemore. I guess that's where I'm getting all this wrong. Cree. I wonder what the actual etymology, is that the word? The ontology? I can't remember the word for where the word came from. Does that mean? I think it's etymology or something. Anyway, yeah, it's Cree being Cree, family, group. Seven out of 10. Let's give it a 7. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. If you are up here, you're going to give it a 9. If you're like me, you're going to be like, well, pretension. It's a pretentious beer. I'll say that, but only because of my experience with it. It's fine otherwise. 7 out of 10 from me on the lower end of the, economic strata. And my people, we'd sip on it. We'd enjoy it like anybody else, but I feel like you would fully appreciate this with a nice, expensive steak, which is something that's outside of my price range because, as we all know, I deserve to starve and die. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. My name's AJ. I'm the Friendly Hermit. You're my buddy. Thanks for having a drink with me today. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. How does Jacob Jones end his videos? We'll see you all in the next one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?